Today I'm going to make my mom's Muthia recipe. Muthia are these rolls. They can be either steamed or fried, made with a combination of different vegetables like zucchini, cabbage, fenugreek leaves, and the binding ingredient are different kind of flours. There's chickpea flour, whole wheat flour, multigrain flour, any kinds of combination. While searching for a recipe for this online, the only recipes I found were made with zucchini and the chickpea flour. I didn't have any zucchini on hand or cabbage, but then I remembered that my mom makes these with rice, and I did have some leftover rice, so I wanted to give it a try. So I called my mom and asked her for a recipe. She was kind of able to give me like a general idea of what goes in it. So I'm today going to try and make it just on, there's no written recipe, but she did kind of give me some proportions. So I'm gonna try and see if I can make it, and I hopefully it will turn out as good as hers. So come along with me and let's see if we can make my mom's mutia recipe with rice. So to make my mom's mutia or vegetarian sausage, I need 1 cup of cream of wheat or sooji, half a cup of whole wheat flour or atta, and then 2 tablespoons of besan, which is chickpea flour. This recipe is different than all the recipes I found on the internet because usually the internet recipes are heavy on the besan versus this one is more heavy on sooji. So let's see how that turns out. And then of course I need my rice. So I have my leftover rice. So I have rice, so only 4 ingredients, and then some spices. So let's put everything together. So I've added all the 3 flours. Again, 1 cup of sooji or cream of wheat, half a cup of whole wheat flour, and then 2 tablespoons of besan or chickpea flour. And now I'm going to add the spices. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of turmeric, a heaping teaspoon of coriander powder, red chili powder, and then salt to taste. And then I need to get some hing or astafodia and then some sugar. Okay, I'm adding 1 tablespoon of sugar. And then this is hing or asafoetida powder. You can buy this in the Indian store, and just like a sprinkle of that. It's hard to make recipes from moms because my mom's a great cook, but she never writes anything down. She'll just say, put a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So I kind of have to do a trial and error and figure out how much to add. So I'm adding the spices according to what I think it should be. Then I'll taste it and see how it actually turns out. So yeah, for all you moms out there who are great cooks, please write your recipes down so that if we need to make them, we're able to follow them. But anyway, so I'm gonna mix this and then add the rice and some oil. All right, my mom said to add some oil to the dough. She didn't say when, so I'm just assuming I'm gonna add it now. So I'm adding, I would say, about 1 tablespoon of oil to the dough. And then I'm going to mix it. Okay, so I've incorporated the tablespoon of oil into the flour and spice mixture. And now I'm going to add the rice. And again, there was no quantity of rice specified, so I'm kind of just going by what I had. So I had about a cup and a half of cooked rice. And at this point, I'm gonna go in with my fingers and try to mix everything in, and then slowly add the water. My mom didn't say how much water. I'm starting out with half a cup and then see how the dough feels. It needs to just stick together. So let's see how much water it actually takes. I'm gonna start out with half a cup. So here's the rice mixed in with the flours and the spices. I haven't added the water yet, so I'm going to now add the water and then try to make a soft dough. Okay, so here's my dough after adding half a cup of water. And I feel like half a cup was enough. This is all you need, is for it to form like these kind of rolls. So I think half a cup is more than enough. So I'm gonna let the dough rest for a little bit and then come and form the sausages or muthia. Okay, my dough is done. I'm going to now let it rest for about half hour while I go clean up. After half hour, I'll come back and make them into the rolls. While the dough was resting, I have the steamer going. So the steamer is basically just a deep pot with the steamer basket on top and a lid. And I have about 2 inches of water, and it's at medium low right now. So I'm waiting for the steamer to get super hot and the steam to build up. And meanwhile, let's go and make the rolls, the muthia. Okay, so using my hands, I shaped the dough into these rolls. And all I did was just take the dough in the palm of my hands and squeezed it to make these rolls. So the 1 cup of cream of wheat and half a cup of whole wheat flour made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the rolls. Before adding my rolls, I want to grease the steamer a little bit. So all I did was put some oil on a paper napkin and I'm just greasing it. I don't like to do the spray because I don't like the chemicals in it. So it's just a little bit of canola oil and paper napkin, and I'm just kind of spreading the bottom. So I have greased the steamer with a little bit of canola oil on a paper napkin. I can see the water boiling, so my rolls are ready to be steamed. Okay, I've arranged the rolls on the steamer, keeping a lot of space between them because they will expand. I'm gonna cover my lid and let's try for about 15 minutes, and at that point we'll check and see if they're done. Okay, the 15-minute timer just went off, so let me check and see if they're done. So you can see they've expanded in size. To check for doneness, I'm just gonna open one and see, and that looks beautifully done. It's not wet anymore. It's nice and spongy looking, so it's done. That's how it should look when it's fully done. So 15 minutes. So I need to write that down so next time I know how much. Today I'm just kind of going by guessing. So 15 minutes. Okay, as you can see, I took the muthia out of the steamer and put them on a plate, and then I've cut them into nice about 1/2 inch slices. You can cut them as thick or thin as you want. Now at this point, the muthia is perfectly ready to eat. They're steamed. You can also take one more step and saute them in a little bit of oil and spices and that also tastes really good. So two ways you can eat it. You can eat it steamed, or if you want to add some more spices and a little extra flavoring on top, you can do that as well. So let's do that extra step, and then I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, I've heated about a tablespoon of oil in a non-stick pan, and my oil is sufficiently hot, so I'm going to add some mustard seeds. Can you please give me some sesame seeds from the door? The other one is open. All right. This is a lesson to learn, is to make sure all your ingredients are there before you start cooking. So I have to get the sesame seeds from the pantry. So while the mustard seeds are popping, I'm going to add a pinch of, again, hing, or the asafoetida, I can't pronounce it, and then some sesame seeds. Just a little bit. And saute everything together. Now, if your spices didn't was lacking when you made the rolls, this is an opportunity to add any extra spices. So if there was less salt or pepper, or if you wanted more spicier, this is a good opportunity to add it. So I tasted mine and it tasted perfectly balanced, so I don't need to add anything else. So just mustard seeds, sesame seeds, and now I'm going to just add the slices of muthia and then just saute them for a couple minutes. Move it around to make sure everything is coated. And then I'm gonna let this heat up and coat out everything, and then it'll be ready to eat. I'll just garnish it with a little coriander and it's all done. Okay, the muthia have nicely become like a golden color. Now again, like I said, it was ready to eat at any time after steaming. But if you like a little bit crispy edges or want it to be little golden brown, you can do that just by sauteing it in a little oil. And the sesame seeds, again, not necessary, but it just adds a little nice look and a little bit of an extra flavor. So I'm going to take this out, plate it, and garnish it with a little coriander. And my muthia is ready. So it was a long day at work today. I was hungry, didn't really have that much food that was made in the house. Didn't feel like eating out today. Decided to see what I could make with some leftovers. All I had was rice, and I decided to give this a try. Less than half an hour from start to finish. And the ingredients were very basic. Everything I had in the house, there's really nothing I needed extra, just some flours and the rice, and that was it. So starving right now. Let me eat this, and then I'll come back with my final thoughts on making a recipe when no written instructions are there, and see how that worked out. So I've had my dinner now. This was a really good meal. It was nutritious, it's filling, and it's quick. It took about 40 minutes, counting the 15-minute of rest time that I let the dough rest. I didn't wait for the whole half hour. I just let it rest for only 15 minutes. Again, this was a really good recipe because it used all the ingredients that I had on hand. Um, just leftover rice and some flours, and I was able to make it very easy to make. and really nice and quick snack or a meal. I'm fortunate that I can call my mom up all the time and ask her how to make all her dishes. But it is nice to also document these so that I can share with everyone. So please try and make this. It is really a great recipe to try out, especially if you are in a hurry and you have some rice left over. So, great recipe for mutia. Thanks, Mom. I really enjoyed it.